So F1 was directed by Joseph Kosinski and it stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, and Kerry Condon. And it's about this Formula One driver played by Brad Pitt named Sonny Hayes. He was a Formula One driver who never really made it big. He is recruited by Javier Bardem to join a Formula One team to basically compete in all these championships and such alongside this newer, younger driver named Joshua, played by Damson Idris. They wind up butting heads a few times, they wind up working together, and we have this big spectacle of a movie. So this was a movie that I was kind of looking forward to, mainly because of Joseph Kosinski. Before Top Gun Maverick, I was not really a big fan of Joseph Kosinski's work. I wasn't a big fan of Tron, the Tron movie he directed. Didn't really care for Oblivion too much, and it was around the time he did Top Gun Maverick. I'm like, okay, this guy is clearly doing unique things, and I kind of would be curious to see like his IMAX sequences in Top Gun were incredible, and I kind of am curious to see what the action sequences are going to be like in this movie. This movie is an incredible watch. This movie is a movie that's made to be seen on the biggest screen possible. So if you're near an IMAX theater, definitely go check it out in IMAX. However you can. Whatever theater is like the biggest screen to you, see it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, I'll go into a little bit more. First off, let's talk about the acting. The acting from all the leads are pretty good. Brad Pitt, this is one of his best roles in a while. Damson Idris, I thought he was really good as Joshua, the younger driver. I like the two of them together, whether they were arguing or whether they were just getting along and such. I thought that worked out pretty well. Javier Bardem, he's also pretty good in this movie as a supporting role. Kerry Condon does the best that she can with some of the character choices that she has. Like I felt like her character was very underwritten, but I thought she did a really good job with her role. The racing sequences in this movie, stellar. They are incredible. There are so many moments in this movie where I kind of, with an IMAX movie especially, I had to go about an hour out of my way to see this movie in IMAX, but it is worth it. And I would say that the racing sequences of this movie make this movie. They are incredible. They are heart racing. They are incredible. They are thrilling. They are unpredictable. And I'm just kind of curious watching. I'm like, how did they shoot this? This movie is remarkable. This movie is something that needs to be seen as big of a screen as you can. Meanwhile, Hans Zimmer's music is incredible as well. It's very techno heavy. It's the music is very good. I kind of want to start listening to the soundtrack a lot more after this movie. I thought his music was really good. You'll never hear me complain about Hans Zimmer's music. He's one of the few composers out there who I feel like no matter what kind of movie he does, it's always going to be great. Meanwhile, I will say throughout this movie, it feels like you are pretty much in the action. Whether it's in the action sequences themselves, I feel like you're kind of like in those cars themselves. It's kind of like when you're watching Top Gun. It's like you kind of at times feel like you're in the cockpit with Tom Cruise and such. This movie, you're kind of in the car with some of these drivers, and I do feel like that's very impressive. And even though this movie is over 2.5 hours long, you don't really feel the pacing of it at all. The movie drives by really fast, pun intended. But I feel like this movie definitely is a quick breeze. It is a fun time. You're going to have a blast watching this movie. But let's talk about a couple of things about this movie I don't like. Mainly, there are a couple cliches in this movie, which if you've ever seen a sports movie, you'd probably have seen some of these cliches. And I won't go into detail with them, but like I feel like they didn't really spend so much time on the script as they did with some of these racing sequences. And also, I feel like there were some poorly written characters in this movie. I mentioned Carrie Condon briefly. I feel like her character is mostly just to be the lone female on the team, and I feel like her character could have been a little bit more than that. To Carrie Condon's credit, she at least tries to be more than just a potential girlfriend, but I feel like her character could have used a lot more. I feel like they could have really done a lot more with her character. But this movie is an incredible experience from beginning to end. If you whatever screen you can get it on, whether it's the biggest screen in your area or even if you want to go out of your way to see an IMAX version of this movie, definitely do that. I remember walking out of this theater having such a high afterwards, and I feel like that was such a blast. That was such a fun movie, and I really want to see it again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it again in IMAX, but I really want to see it again. So I'll give F1, the acting, pretty good for the most. It's really good. The best actors do the best they can with the roles, and I did really like their chemistry throughout the entire movie. The racing sequences are the reason to see this movie. They were made to be seen on the biggest screen possible. The music by Hans Zimmer is great. You feel like you're in the action. The pacing is really well done. It's a movie that's just basically a thrill a minute. It's even though there are some cliches, it can be pretty unpredictable. There are some moments where my mouth was just on the floor because something happened. I'm like, you did a movie. You actually caught me off guard, and I'm actually really impressed by that. But even though there are some cliches here and there, again, if you've ever seen a sports movie, you can kind of guess where some of these are going. And again, some characters I feel like aren't really that well written. I still say F1 is an experience that you need to see on the big screen, as big of a screen as you possibly can. I will give F1 3.5 out of 4 stars. See it. So, what is your favorite type of sports movies? Whether that's like football or basketball, whatever. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. Stay safe.